Hey, what's up guys, it's Fisayo here, and I've had the Infinix Note 7 for over 2 weeks now, and I know some of you with very sharp eyes caught it in my last video and asked questions. Well, I've been able to spend some time with this device, so this is my unboxing of this huge device. And if you've been following the Infinix brand on social media, you see some of the posts with hashtag Note 7 that were sort of, anticipatory posts. In this video, I'll share my thoughts about this device and things you should know before you buy or not. Also, check the timestamps in the description of this video to skip ahead to different sections that you want to get quickly informed about. Thanks to Unicaf, I'll be giving away one Infinix Note 7 when it's finally available in stores for purchase. So stick around till the end of this video to learn how you can win that. Make sure you like this video, actually like this video. It goes a long way really. And of course, subscribe and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when we post a new video. Now, speaking of new videos, I also have the Infinix S5 Pro in the works for you guys. I'll be sharing that in a later video, so I would appreciate it if you could subscribe to the channel. And as we always say, without further ado, let's get to the video. I got a sample unit and it's not the end user's commercial box. As far as what's inside, we have the usual SIM ejector tool, the screen protector, invite card, silicone case, and warranty card. Accessories would include the headphones, charging cable, and the power adapter. A new feature about this device is that it supports 18-watt fast charging, which is cool, and somehow Infinix was able to do this without a USB-C port. I'll share my charging speed later in this video. Anyway, onto the device itself. The Infinix Note 7 isn't a pop-up camera like the S5 Pro. There was a silent launch of the S5 Pro in Nigeria that I almost missed. Unfortunately, that also hasn't gone on sale officially in Nigeria yet. So what's the deal with this Infinix Note 7 and why is it even a thing right now? First of all, this device, when I held it the first time, it was huge. It weighs almost the same as the iPhone XS Max, 11 Pro Max, with 5 to 20 grams of difference respectively, which isn't that much, but it's huge. There's a reason for this huge form factor, and it's because of the 5000 milliamp hour battery, which I'll talk about in a bit. As far as the ports and I/O goes, nothing is on top of the Infinix Note 7. On the side, it has the power button / fingerprint reader / camera shutter button. It will make sense very soon, but this button is something. You also have the micro SD card slot to the left, pretty standard stuff. There's also the rubber ring to the side for a tighter seal. Beneath the phone is the headphone jack and the microphone port to the USB port and the speaker. The back houses the quad camera setup in that circular array plus the quad flash. And notice the Infinix branding and the design by Infinix inscription. I like the design here, that crossed shaped pattern. It kind of reminds you of the A series that Samsung makes. The front has the earpiece, which also serves as the second speaker and the camera. The Note 7 is a 6.95 inch and it is close to 7 inches. Holding it was, quite the weight in my hands. It's not a small device. It's not a device for small-handed people. On the side, it's a Gorilla Glass display, but there is no specific note as to whether it is Gorilla Glass 3. In terms of color options, there's the forest green, Earther black, and Bolivia blue. I've seen white, and in fact, the one I have here is sort of purplish. There's different variations by country, so I wouldn't hop on that train too quickly in terms of the color options. One thing I'd say that is the downside about this display is that it's a 720p display with a resolution at exactly 1640 by 720p with a PPI of 258. Someone can argue that this is a mid-range level display, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. On the one hand, it's a huge, almost 7-inch screen, 6.95 inch to be exact. It's an LCD display, but you actually look at how huge it is. There's no notch, thankfully. There's some chin right there, and of course it's kind of hard to fully appreciate a big screen like this with that resolution for the price of almost 80,000 naira. I'll update the description below, so check there for the updated price. I'm in a bit of mixed bag for this. I don't know, I like the idea of the punch hole. It's cool. Special shout out to the Infinix S5, by the way. Video quality when watching YouTube and stuff like Netflix was okay, and even gaming was decent in terms of the image quality and processing. The Note 7 does come with tons of bloatware which you can uninstall. However, not all the extra features you get are not useful. Social Turbo is a feature on this device that helps with additional WhatsApp features. that WhatsApp doesn't have. For example, you can record WhatsApp calls and add a beauty filter to make live video calls. I don't know why you'd want to do that. You can make your own stickers, backup messages, save them and read them offline, and more features are displayed here. In terms of display navigation, we've got action and gestures where you can tap to wake, cover to silence incoming calls, and a lot more. I also like that it's easier to access system navigation and choose between gestures and buttons. I'm curious, which team are you? Are you team gestures or are you team buttons? Use the poll to decide. One thing is for sure though, it's definitely a step up as far as the Note series goes, except it's a Note device and it doesn't come with a stylus. We will see a Note 7 Pro or Note 7 Pro stylus or Note 7 stylus. You know, that's something to think about. I mean, if you look at past trends, it's pretty much what we've had. You have one Note without a stylus and one Note stylus with a stylus, or a Pro with a stylus. So yeah, that's something to think about. You've got the fingerprint reader of this device to the side, which to be honest is way cooler than having it on the back or having a slow on-screen fingerprint reader. This is way much better because I use the power button almost all the time. So why not have my fingerprint reader, you know, where it's easily accessible on the right side of the phone? Just so you know, it's on the right side of the phone, and you might have to use your index finger if your hands are not that big to hold a 7-inch screen. It also has face unlock, but I barely use that, but it's there. It's fast too. Another thing is that the Infinix Note 7 comes with a dual speaker set, and here is how it sounds. This is the sound quality of the Infinix Note 7. I'm holding the Infinix Note 7 in the same position I'll hold it when I'm making a phone call. Let me know what you think about this sound quality in the comment section below. I'll say the sound quality of the microphone was really crisp and it had a lot of S's pronounced well, and it sounded more in the high notes. The stereo speakers on here are actually loud and punchy, but not the most amazing that you can get. It's a stereo speaker setup and you can hear sound coming from the bottom, the speaker grill, and the top around the earpiece area, despite only having one visible speaker grill. Of course, you've got an Android 10 device on this guy, which is nice. And something I noticed is when I set up my unit, it was default into dark mode, but that is most likely because it's not the retail version. But yeah, just so you know, it has dark mode. And this is running on Infinix's latest software, XOS Dolphin version 6.0.1. How about the processing power, the battery capacity, and the storage? Well, there are 3 storage options, and shout out to this video sponsor, Unicaf. I'll be giving someone a brand new Infinix Note 7 when it's finally available in stores in Nigeria. I'll be giving one of these 3 versions to someone. Meet Unicaf, which has so far awarded more than $100 million worth of scholarships supporting students living in Africa by providing opportunities to study for internationally recognized degrees. It could be a bachelor's, master's, or doctoral program. Simply go to the Unicaf website where you can apply and quickly get started. You can choose from a selection of programs from British, American, and Pan-African universities. The admission procedures are easy, coupled with the user-friendly virtual learning environment. On the platform, you have access to tons of resources, virtually meet students and tutors, and an online library that helps you with your short courses, bachelor's, master's, or doctoral programs. Once you fill out the application form, a student advisor will reach out to you as soon as possible and guide you through all the steps of the application process. The scholarship program gives you access to an affordable payment plan that lets you pay tuition bit by bit. This is particularly helpful for those who are working professionals and the ones that want to pay in installments. Unicaf helps you earn a degree and gain knowledge at an affordable price. It's simple, quality higher education. Check out the link in the description to find out more about studying through Unicaf. Alright, as I said, we've got 3 storage options, and to recap, we have a 64GB storage and 4GB of RAM version, 128 gigs of storage with 4 gigs of RAM, and 128 gigs with 6 gigs of RAM. My model is the highest version with 128 plus 6 gigs of RAM. The Note 7 does come with MediaTek's G70 chip, a 12nm octa-core chipset, and I see a comment coming like, you know, MediaTek again. You know, just so you know, these companies have long-term contracts with these guys, so they sort of cross-promote and help each other, and it's sort of like a partnership, which, you know, it's kind of hard to just separate yourself from a partnership like that. And yeah, a lot of other companies do this as well. So if you go to their website, I linked it below, you see other partners that also do this. They also cross promote each other, and Something funny, when I checked on MediaTek's page, I saw that the G70, which the Infinix Note 7 has, is capable of 2520 by 1080, but this Infinix device is 1640 by 720 in terms of the display resolution. So it seems like a compromise for sure. One area where the G70 shines is in gaming. This device was pleasant when I did game, and graphics processing is 2 times better than the previous generation. PUBG on here was a default medium, not low, and it had a high frame rate. Call of Duty, however, was a default low, and I guess that's because of the 720p display. The Note 7 did handle gaming pretty well. In terms of the day-to-day use, it's familiar territory. It's indeed one of the bigger devices that I've had in my hand. Everyone who saw me use it commented on the size, so that would count for something, right? Also, how does this device perform in terms of the battery life? Well, I did my usual 30 minutes of Call of Duty, and this took battery from 89% to 81%, which is a 9% loss of battery life. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments below. I used a fast charger, and something that stood out to me was that unlike the 2-hour charge that it took for the older Infinix devices to get to, this took significantly less time to charge, way less than 2 hours, which was positive on the one hand. And secondly, on the spec sheet, it's capable of 18-watt fast charging, but it's not a USB-C port, so it's sort of a compromise in terms of charging speed, to be honest. In terms of cameras though, you've got a 16 megapixel f2.0 front-facing camera, and it's in that punch hole display, no front-facing flash, just a screen flash. And on the back, it's a round array 48 megapixel wide camera, 2 megapixel macro lens, 2 megapixel depth sensor, and 2 megapixels dedicated video camera for night mode. Maximum shooting resolution you get here is 1080p at 30 frames per second. And again, inside the spec sheet, the MediaTek G70 has a video encoding playback at 2K resolution and slow motion at 240 FPS, but none of that comes in the Note 7. One interesting feature of the Note 7 is that the fingerprint reader is the shutter button when you tap it lightly. When Infinix mentioned this, I was actually very excited for this feature. Slowly, I've been using it, and I've actually taken quite a lot of accidental shots just from holding the phone and mistakenly tapping the fingerprint reader. It can be annoying sometimes, and I'm not so sure it can be remapped or turned off. Selfies on the Note 7 were less saturated, which isn't necessarily bad, but not the aesthetic that may be my first choice. However, it's a clear image you get, and if you want to edit, there's that, there's another option. Another example with these selfies I took is how orange the reds look. Also, a quick fact to note is that portrait mode on here from my own test only work with people and nothing else. And in fact, it needs defined eyes, nose, and mouth. So let me tell you what I mean. I recorded the screen as I was taking a picture, as you can see here. It's portrait mode. However, it only blurs the background when I take my face mask off. When I put it back on, portrait mode disappears, and that's just a random fact. However, portrait mode works. It's not perfect like many smartphones. Many smartphones aren't perfect, but it will still need some work for the edges and how it blurs it. A lot of people might not mind, but it's there. The daytime shots I took looked cool, and especially when it's 48 megapixel. 2x shots also kept some sharpness, and in 5x it starts to lose a bit of quality, and in the same zoom level. Just so you know, the maximum zoom level on here is 8x. Same with a lot of the greens and the reds or shades of red, especially when it's hit with a lot of light. This was shot with the 48 megapixel mode. It just shines through, and similarly it changes in quality when it's zooming in. Tackling the focusing capabilities of the camera, focusing takes just about a second before it adjusts to the subject in frame, and when you tap it, it works 90% of the time in pictures. There is a noticeable struggle to focus when it's zoomed, and especially in videos. The back camera does a better job than the front camera at blurring backgrounds. However, that's not the same for videos, especially when you don't have any form of stabilization. The focus is way slower. For night mode shots, or in night mode, you really can't take a normal shot. It sort of forces night mode, so there really wasn't anything to compare it to. That being said though, the night mode shots were actually not bad at all. Though there was some noise in the image when I took it, it still had definite outlines. I think the main thing that impressed me a little more out of everything was the camera's performance in night mode. However, it's still going to require you to have very stable hands, especially if you're taking videos. I think I'm glad that there's 18-watt fast charging capabilities. From what I've seen so far, maybe the Helio G70 wasn't really well utilized, especially when you look at what the G70 can offer on the MediaTek website and what the Infinix Note 7 offers on this device that they just launched. I'll post an update about the pricing for Nigeria. That's that. What do you guys think about the outcome of the Infinix Note 7 coming to Nigeria? Would you buy one? And are you a fan of an almost 7-inch screen? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also guys, as some of you may know, I'm honored to be MusicBed's first African ambassador, and all the songs I use in my videos are by MusicBed. If you're a creator and you want to use music for your creative projects, videos or short films to upload to YouTube, it's a great service you can use for your music in your videos. You can try it free for 30 days with the link below and use very interesting songs like the ones I use in my videos, plus more. And depending on your channel size, you get to pay a subscription fee starting as low as $9.99 or 3,600 naira per month. If you enjoyed this video, do hit that like button so more people like you can get to see it on YouTube. Share this video with somebody who you think would benefit from information about the Note 7. And also, if you have any comments, do drop them below and I'll be answering them for you guys. So yeah, the giveaway for this device will be live soon. So thanks to Unicaf, thanks to you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.